Discover College Soccer podcast is sponsored by VIO. VIO is the #1 AI camera solution helping players capture college recruitment videos. Check out their new starter and family options by clicking on the link in the description or visit Discover College Soccer to learn more. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Discover College Soccer. Today, I'm lucky enough to be joined by Coach Dylan from Central Baptist College. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
I'm glad to have you. And don't worry, for anybody watching the video, Coach isn't driving. We made sure that he is just in his car. Because I caught him at a had to slot the needle, thread the needle perfectly for his timing to get him on the pod, but we wanted to talk to him. So glad to have him here today. So Coach, you guys are NAI school there in Arkansas. It's it's just after June 15th, so a lot of folks are excited to be starting to get those calls from Division Ones and Twos. But with you guys not having any of those restrictions, talk to me a little bit about your timeline. I mean, are you pretty much just focused on 25s? How much time you spend on 26s? Are you still closing off a few 24s with a few months before the season? What's it looking like for you guys?
So yeah, I'm gonna go with like D all of the above. It's a little bit of everything. So there were a couple last minute 2024s that I'm talking to right now from coaching friends of mine with around the state. But we have officially started our recruiting process for the 2025s. And then now our focus is, as well as like getting 2025s in, is starting to identify 2026s that could be potential prospects early on, trying to seal up. And their major could change, but just essentially trying to figure out, okay, is this guy's GPA good enough? What's his test scores looking like? Is he working on these things? Where is he playing at? So that maybe we can end up catching up to him in a showcase event. I don't know, somewhere in Texas, or if we end up going to Louisiana or something, like we can already have plans of going to watch this kid wherever he is, uh, a junior or a senior.
Okay. Well, in terms of events, you mentioned Texas, Louisiana. What are some of the events you try to get to each year that are high on your list?
So a couple of the big ones for us. I went to the Gulf Shores showcase last year in Gulf Shores, and I think that one was a quality one. I think they were well organized. I definitely like the Sports Source in Dallas, but the Texas showcases are more around our area. We intend to go to a couple in Missouri next year as well. But most of those, so Texas, Oklahoma, Gulf Shores is kind of the big one that's out of the way where we wouldn't really get an opportunity to see those kids. Um, but yeah, those are kind of the big ones for us.
Now, when you look at your roster, it looks like you got some good international representation there as well. So how does international recruiting work for you guys? How important is it? What's your thoughts on that?
So for us, back in the day, I played for CBC back in the day, 2014 to 2017, and we were really international heavy. So my goal is to keep that a trend within the school. So this next year will be about 50% international. I think it's a huge pull, bringing those guys in, especially like being in an NAIA program. It's a little different. We're with restrictions on what we can do with international. So bringing in guys that have played academies at, like, I don't know, Millwall, and then you get the guys at like Valencia academies when they were younger. I mean, just bringing in the experience um, and like a different culture into our locker room is really important for us. I really think it made a huge impact in my life as a player. So I want to keep that going.
Okay. Well, are transfers or junior college recruits a part of your normal recruiting plans or not so much?
Yes. So this year was my first year as head coach, and my first priority was getting a few JUCO players in that had experience already playing as. I mean, they played their first 2 years of college already, so they're coming in with already college playing experience. So I mean, I think we have five players this year from a junior college.
Okay. Well, whether it's junior college, international, Gulf Shores tournament. When you're looking at kids, what kind of makes up the hierarchy of things that you're looking for in a player, whether that's on the field attributes or off the field stuff?
So we really look at both before I'll sign anyone. I like to have a few meetings with them through Zoom call or FaceTime or whatever's easiest for them. I definitely do a personality check because there is a standard that I want to have on the team. I'll always go for like yes, we do want higher level quality players, but we also want guys that are going to fit into the program and really what we want. Through the school because we are a Christian college. We are a Baptist college. We want believers um, in the program and in the school, but we also want guys that are just good people, and will end up not just being that all-star athlete, but will end up being a good father and a good husband, and be a good asset to society. Not just be the athlete.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about the school. You got some unique perspective as an alum as well as the coach. So, what are some things you really enjoy about the school? What are some awesome things that maybe we wouldn't know about it just by going through the website?
So for me, I enjoy the size of the school. You can see that through the website, but I think, it doesn't really do it a lot of justice about like the culture that you get because in a smaller school, you're not just a number. The classroom size is 11 to 1. So you get 11 students to every one professor. So you get more of that personalized education from the professor. Like they know your name in class, they know if you're gone, they know why you're gone because you are a student athlete. We're about, I want to say like 75% athletes at our school, so everyone is on the same schedule as you. If you're not in baseball, then there's a choir person in your class doing the exact same schedule that you are, gone on events and away. So I think the school does a really good job of making you feel like the people around you are family.
That's awesome. Well, one of the things that, you know, students have to deal with is being a student, not just a soccer player, right? So,
Right.
what what support systems does the school offer to help athletes and students in general, be successful both in the classroom as well as the soccer field?
Right. So we do. So as a team, we do have our study halls. Our players are required to get about 5 hours a week, and we put them in small like accountability groups, where they'll go into the library or inside Bruce Hall, which is where my office is, and they'll do their homework together. Especially like the our goal next year is to get a junior paired up with a lot of freshmen and kind of help them. Uh, Learn the ropes and how to be successful as a player. And then there's also you have learning disabilities, you turn in paperwork, like ADHD, all that stuff, to be able to get more time, and you turn that into our officer, and they assist you in those things and making sure that the professors know, like, hey, I need more time on tests. I struggle keeping focus. Just little any learning disability. They make sure that you're taken care of. We also have paid tutors within the school library that have their specific hours in. And a lot of times, our schedules are hectic. My schedule's hectic. So I know the players who have class, who have work, who have, their responsibilities on the field as well that are gone traveling. Um, you know, you can message one of those tutors and they're actually been really good about getting back to you. And with our professors as well, they do a great job of keeping me in the loop too. So if they say, "Hey, this player needs a little extra help," think they're a little too shy to say something, then I can get involved and assist as well. Be like, "Hey, our algebra teacher says that you may need a little bit more work. Can we go into our office together and figure this out so that you can be successful?"
Okay. Well, let's fast forward to October. You're in the heart of the season. Walk me through what a typical week is going to look like for a player in terms of, when are classes and practices, meals, game cadence. What's a typical week look like?
So if we play, let's say we play on a Tuesday, so let's go on a Monday. Um, so on a Monday, it would be. if you're a freshman, you may have some 8 a.m. classes. So you go to class from 8 to, let's say, 11:50. You'd go from class to those times. Usually you have about 3 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You have 2 on Tuesday, Thursday. Some people flip flop it. It just depends. So you'd have class in the morning. We usually don't do a lot of morning sessions, in the heart of the season, unless, there's a early morning recovery session, or if some guys want some extra work in the gym, we'll have some optional gym work for them, with bands and stuff, because we don't want a lot of heavy lifting during the season. But um, after that, we'd have lunch around noon. I think lunch runs from about 11 to 1 p.m. And then from there, we go straight to the pitch. We have 2 teams. We have a JV and we have a reserve team, and we have a first team. So our reserve team will train first, around 2:30 for an hour, 15 minutes. They'll train, and then our first team will train directly after. And then after that, they'll have dinner around 4:45 is whenever it opens, but usually our players get there around like 5:30, and dinner usually ends around 6:30. And then after that, they have their study hall hours that they complete. They can go to work. Whatever else is on their agenda, that's up to them. Every now and then, we will have team events, where we'll go to Central Baptist Church and have, sometimes they'll grill for us, and we'll listen to a devotional, or we'll have specific team events where we go and watch film, after training now.
Okay. Well, you mentioned having 2 teams, so let's talk more about that. Is there an overall roster size that you're trying to hit each season?
My overall roster size is around 40. Me preferably, I like to have 50. So there's a definite split between the two. There's a first team of 25, and then my reserve has 25 as well. But my goal each week is to push 3 players up to my first team training, and make sure that we're showing that we want you to make this. Like, this isn't just a spot for you to be in for your 4 years. The reserve team, for me, is a developmental team. Like, I want you into my first team. If you're in my school, I want you here. I want you to be a starter. You just may be missing something right now. And we have reserve games as well. I think we have 9 this season, which is more than what we've had since I was a player. So, that was our main priority, was making sure that our developmental team is properly funded, first of all, and then they're getting the match minutes where we can actually focus on individual player development for them.
Okay. Well, if with a roster that big, there's got to be some other roster help in terms of more coaches. So talk to me about the rest of your staff, and maybe some other staff in the athletic department that help out with the team. What are their roles? What's that look like?
Perfect. So there's me. I'm the head coach, obviously. I'll be more managing in there and making sure that everything is organized. Our first paid assistant coach is Rowan Lawfer. He currently plays USL League Two right now for the Little Rock Rangers. He's a very talented player, but he also is very good at coaching. So his job is more. He's the first assistant for the first team, and then his job is head coach of the reserve team as well. So he's pulling double duty there. I assist him with the reserves, but he is a younger coach, so my goal is to let him be able to make those decisions and get a lot of experience, so that whenever he moves on from me, he's well prepared for the next step. We have a couple younger coaches as well. Derek Strong, who is the second assistant and then the first assistant for the reserve team. We'll have a goalkeeper coach coming in. And then we also have a student manager that is interested in goalkeeper coaching. So his role is going to be, to assist us with making sure that the game day preparations, like the flags are out, the waters are out, but he's also going to be at our training sessions, taking notes, learning the ropes, of how to become a goalkeeper coach. I was a goalkeeper, so my goal is to be able to help train him with that as well. But we do have another goalkeeper coach coming in, Trace Strakowski. And then we have a set piece analyst, and he helps me with recruiting as well, Coach Michael McGay. So we have about 6 coaches coming in this year that'll help us in maintaining, 50 players. It's hard to get the individual attention, but our goal is to make it a smooth transition as possible. Make sure everyone's getting the attention they need to be successful. Successful. Sorry.
It's all right. Um, no, it sounds good. So what about you as a head coach? Kind of talk to me about your coaching philosophy, your style, and maybe the style of play you're looking to implement there.
Yeah. So for me, I like possession. I like to move the ball. I like to keep the ball on the ground. But I'm also not afraid to adapt on what the game demands. As well as I do. Everything's not going to go perfect the entire time. But if we can limit mistakes and at least have an identity, it makes it a little bit easier when we need to adapt. It's not us changing our game plan. For me, I want our opponents to have to change to prepare for what we have to offer rather than having to change game by game of what we do. There may be, a little bit difference in focusing on players, but opponents players like individual guys coming in that are just ballers. But for me, having to have that strong identity of keeping the ball, what do we look like? High pressing. For me, we're possession high pressing team um, going forward, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, for me, my philosophy is we keep the ball, we move the ball, we go and score. We don't concede a lot of goals. Very,
That's
very simple. I mean,
that's the
very, very
goal,
simple.
right? I think that yeah, I think you
Let's keep
summarized.
the ball. Let's keep the ball. Let's look good doing it. Let's enjoy it. But for me as a coach, what I'm looking for in a player is are they coachable? Do they have technical ability? Are they afraid to make mistakes? And for me, that's the bigger one. The biggest one is are the players we're bringing in brave and playing under pressure? Because a lot of teams in our conference will press and then look to hit the ball over the top of us. So just being brave, not being afraid of making mistakes, and excited for the game. Very passionate.
No, I love it. Well, besides the fall season, there's also the spring. Talk to me about what your spring off season typically looks like for the players.
So we're really excited about this upcoming spring because the NAI has officially changed from us having three days to play to 5. So that means more game minutes, especially for the guys that maybe didn't get a lot of time in the fall. My goal in the spring is to make sure that we're maximizing everyone's playing minutes as much as possible, but we also focus more on getting a little bit stronger, a little bit bigger, a little bit faster. It always helps to be a little bit of bigger, faster, stronger. The usual. So working on our size, working on our diets. So we usually we'll train with weights in the morning around 6 a.m., make it a little tough on the guys, and then we'll train around 3 p.m. Still split training sessions, but it just depends on the player schedules as well when those come out. So we adjust training sessions based off of that. So we'll do that, and then we'll probably do 2-a-days for about a month and a half, 2 months, and then once we start playing those spring matches, we'll calm it down a little bit, some more on the field focus, and weightlifting in between block days. So on Tuesday, Thursday, we may lift, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we'll be on the ball up until when we start playing matches.
Okay. Well, Coach, really appreciate the time. I just got one last question for you. If you had a piece of advice, any nugget of information you think all college prospective student athletes should know as they go through this recruiting process, what would that be?
Really focus on finding the right fit and a coach that wants you to be there. I think that's a huge thing is knowing that you go to a place to be more than just a roster number. Because where one coach may think that you're a reserve guy, you may be another guy's starter. And it's all up to you and what you want to do. With your career. If playing is important to you, make sure you go to a place where you have a shot to play. If you're okay with sitting, then be okay with having a tough path. And I mean, anywhere you go in college soccer is going to be the road's going to be tough. Everyone's going to be bigger than you. Everyone's a star. every player, whether you're a freshman or an international kid coming in, you were the star at where you were at, and now it may take you a year or two to develop into this player that they want you to be. So just trust that process and make sure you're valued wherever you go. Don't go somewhere where you're not valued.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, really appreciate it. Wish you the best of luck as you go this fall, and hopefully we'll check in and seeing you winning some conference tournaments.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Hi, everybody. It's Matt from Discover College Soccer. I hope you're enjoying the podcast, whether that's on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I also wanted to let you know about the Discover College Soccer Study Table. This is our brand new online portal that is complete with a 14-part online course giving you all of the ins and outs of the college soccer recruiting process. There's also a wealth of resources such as checklists, templates. There's the spreadsheets that have every soccer program in the country along with their coaches, their contact information, their social media information, some basic stats about the school, and more. Plus, there's an online community where you can ask your questions, share your wins, your losses, any questions that you may have around the college soccer recruiting process. It's all there at the Discover College Soccer study table that you can find at discovercollegesoccer.com/study table, and hopefully we will see you there.